Out the years, there's been a lot of people saying when they see an Eddie Murphy movie, I wish he'd just shut up. Why can't he just be quiet? He's so loud. Let me tell you something. When he does shut up, not such a good thing. It doesn't make any difference.
Oh, yeah. Because he doesn't shut up and just be quiet. He's still gesticulating and moving around and acting like a goddamn fool.
I know.
So
that motherfucker's teeth just kills me. I hate his fucking teeth.
Yeah, it's like, because at least when he's talking, it's more direct and to the point. Otherwise, you got to watch him mug around a simple thing for 5 minutes.
I keep thinking, does this motherfucker, like, does he think he's still doing motion capture for that fucking donkey? Because like, his face is going crazy, his body is going crazy.
He thinks he's still in Mulan.
Yeah.
I never see Eddie Murphy in every scene, because in this movie he plays a literary agent who wants to sign this spiritual guru played by Cliff Curtis. Cliff Curtis, of course, is in one of my favorite movies of all time. He was
Collateral Damage?
No, get out of here. Shut up, you. You know better than that. Get out of here. How dare you? How dare you besmirch his name like that? No.
He besmirched his own name.
Shut up. He was the guy that wanted his shit pushed in Training Day. How can you forget? But Cliff Curtis, I love this guy, and he's such a versatile actor, which makes me so sad to see him in this movie. But he plays a spiritual guru who, when Eddie Murphy goes to see him, and of course he's been all loud and superficial and materialistic. He just says, look, I'm going to help you. And what happens is this tree just grows out of nowhere in Eddie Murphy's L.A. bungalow, nice, expensive house. And every time Eddie Murphy talks, no matter what he says, a leaf falls off this tree. And he goes to see Cliff Curtis. He's like, what the hell's going on with this tree? And he's like, well, once all the leaves are gone, you're going to die. So shut the fuck up. And we're thinking, we're all saying that too. Yeah, well, I'm with that. Yeah. But then after that, we see, wow, the movie got worse after he didn't talk anymore.
Yeah, have we mentioned the title of this movie?
1,000 words.
No, actually, it's 1,000 Deaths of Eddie Murphy. Because every goddamn frame is literally killing Eddie Murphy's
I thought you were going to say 1,000 words can't describe how bad this movie is. And I'm fair, man. I mean, go ahead.
As it turned out, like, it wasn't Eddie Murphy who died when all the leaves fell. It was his career. Who would cast him in anything after seeing this atrocious piece of garbage? But no wonder they hit it for 4 years?
It was made in 2000. Well, it wrapped in 2008. Now, here's the deal. Leon, I'm going to let you talk a little bit, but we got to give a little insight. Because listen, Eddie Murphy made the movie. I give actors a little slack because when they make a movie, they don't really know what the process is going to be after editing, marketing, and all that kind of hoopla. But as we said, Eddie Murphy has a track record of making bad family movies, and this one, even though it's not exactly a family movie, it's trying to be sort of a riff off of Jim Carrey's Liar Liar. Yeah. But this was made in 2008. It wrapped up then. It wrapped up. Wasn't really made. Wrapped up in 2008. It was supposed to be released in 2009 until some assassin came in and said, I want to kill Eddie Murphy's career, whatever's left of it, because there was no reason to release this movie. After it was announced that Eddie Murphy was going to be on the Oscars, they said, okay, we're going to push this movie till after he's on the Oscars. When Eddie Murphy backed out, they pushed the movie back up to the date that we have now. Somebody is actively trying to kill Eddie Murphy's career somewhere in Hollywood.
I want to see that movie.
It's probably the Academy of Arts and Sciences. Like, oh, you going to back out on us, make us look bad? All right, motherfucker, we got something for you. Roll tape.
Yeah. Can you say Eddie Murphy that phone call? No, it's okay. Go ahead. And what you mean by that? Huh? No, we didn't mean nothing. Go ahead.
After hearing this entire conspiracy revolving around this movie, part of me was thinking, oh man, that's fucked up. Maybe I should cut the poor guy some slack. But I realized when I looked up the director of this movie, this is the same guy who directed fucking Norbit.
And me.
So and all I thought was like, Eddie Murphy, after Norbit, somebody, your mom, your agent, your relatives should have said, stay the fuck away from that director there.
His name
is
Brian Robbins.
Oh, yeah, Brian Robbins used to be one of the members of, one of the cast members on Head of the Class. And,
really?
Yeah.
He was an actor for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he directed some other WB show for the longest time. I can't remember what it was.
Was it that Frog?
Oh, no. It was Kenan and Kel.
That explains a lot.
Oh, wow. Well, despite that, the guy, it should also be on his resume that he once tried to kill Eddie Murphy's career, too, with that fucking movie.
Well, to me, it sounds like it's one of these things where he's that bad friend, that bad influence friend that everybody knows Eddie Murphy should hang out with. But he's like, what? This guy's, he's loyal. That's why I stick by him. Everybody's like, it's like, you know what? Stick by your drug dealer, but this guy, you need to lose.
It's like for 3/4 of this film, it's the standard bad Eddie Murphy movie. Now, like, not Norbit type of bad where it's just offensive and gross. It's just like that family-friendly Eddie Murphy bad.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, God, this is boring. None of these jokes are funny. The setup doesn't make any sense at all. Like, if you are the guy who, like, you've accepted that if you speak, it gets you closer to death, right? So you're not going to speak and you go to work.
Yeah, right.
Why would you do that?
Why don't you call in sick until you figured it out?
Exactly. It just doesn't make any sense. He does shit like that throughout the whole. He goes to his therapist just so there's a bit where he just sits there and says nothing. You're like, why would you even go?
Yeah, you said why is he there? Yeah,
Why is he even there? But
I kept on saying, why am I fucking here
Yeah,
still?
exactly.
Why am I in this
Well,
theater?
that's the
Because
thing
we
about
should note that we were the only 4 people.
We were the only dumbasses there tonight.
But Ghost, that was the right question because the last quarter of this movie, that's the whole thing. Why am I here? Suddenly it's like, well, we want to make Oprah happy. And it turns into like a new age film out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're like, are you serious? You mean that whole bit with the new age thing wasn't just for this bizarre gimmick you've created?
Yeah.
You actually want to come up with some sort of
No.
back-assward spiritual message?
It was. I mean, they try to everything that they try to do in this movie fails. So let me tell you people something. I put my reputation on the line. I think you were there with me, Cyrus. We came out a Pluto Nash, giving Eddie Murphy a chance. We said, people, it ain't great, but it's not that bad.
It's not the worst thing ever.
Lay the fuck off, Eddie Murphy. What are you doing? So when we tell you that 1,000 words is bad, keep in mind, we are the defenders of Pluto Nash. You were saying this was bad, okay?
You know what?
This is a piece of shit.
It makes me so happy to hear you say this. If there's any good outcome of this movie, all you Eddie Murphy apologists now will have to bend down and kiss my foot, as I've been telling you for years, decades.
yeah.
It's been over for him.
Kiss his foot, and then you can kiss my ass right after you do that. We'll have a line waiting for you.
I can tell you right now, one reason I'm not shocked this came out in 2008, because his character is a high-powered literary agent. That does not exist.
Yeah.
Have you seen the publishing industry?
That's ebooks now.
Because he's riding around like he's Ari Gross or Ari Gold from Entourage, signing Hollywood people. These are books. You don't get to do that.
The only thing I believed about his character was that his character always tells his little lackey that, hey, why are you bringing these books to me? I don't read. I don't fucking read. That was the only part of that movie I believed in Eddie Murphy playing. Because obviously that motherfucker didn't read the script.
There was several clues along the way that something was wrong as far as the time goes. I mean, in the first series of jokes, there's a Shaq reference.
Yeah.
What? Shaq? What?
Who's that?
Later, he's supposed to be like this really rich agent, and he has a flip phone.
I didn't notice that one.
And then let's not forget that on the chart they're saying you're more famous than this person. You're more famous than this person. And the highest person on the chart, who is it? Miley Cyrus. It's like no Justin Bieber to be found. And you're right, Leon. Let's not to mention that this is pre ebook. This is pre iPad.
Yeah.
It's like. If this was true, him being a literary agent, he'd be on the street with a cardboard sign right now. Fuck 1,000 words.
He's going to be in his next movie.
Things have changed so much in a mere 4 years. This is almost a period piece.
It gave me a period.
But it is one of these things where, yeah, you might, co-host, I'm with you like, oh man, it came out that long ago. I almost want to give him slack, but you know what? I give slack to Duke Clark. Because he's just a
Clark Duke.
Is it Clark Duke? God damn it.
Whatever.
He's just.
I want to give respect to Michael Clark Duncan.
His name's not going to matter after this movie.
Well, the thing is, you know what? True. He's a young actor, comedian. He gets a role in an Eddie Murphy movie. Of course, he's going to take it and do the best he can.
Now tell people who Clark Duke is.
Well, let's see. He was one of the best friends in Superbad. He was the kid in Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, he's the one that
he was a funny
Chevy
lady.
Chase said, "Hey, he looks like a girl."
Yeah.
He was in Sex Drive.
Sex Drive, where he's the fat kid, but he's also the ladies' man. Which I love that. He's actually one of these young actors that, like, when I see him and stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm glad he's here.
That guy always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
He was a guy I was actually rooting for more than Jonah Hill as far as a career in movies.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? He's got to do whatever's on the page.
You want me to do all the talking? No, I can't. I don't know what to say. Just do what you would do. Is that good?
You're starting to think you stood us up. Robert Gilmore, VP of Acquisitions. This is Gil Reed, head of marketing at Simon & Schuster.
Handshake. Come on, man. We are brothers. Hit me hard and high, Gil. Bam. That's right. Aaron Weisberger, agent, friend of mankind, and a lover of every book you guys have ever published. Come on, what is this, Mickey D's? Let's get some service up in here. Got a man with a bad case of the dry mouth. Why don't you sit your ass down? Come on.
He tries, but there's nothing he can do.
You know, but he's not the only one that tries. The sad thing about this movie is that once they take away Eddie Murphy's ability to speak, it seems like now it's up to the rest of the cast to make this movie funny, which is really torturous to watch because it's almost like a fan running up to Eddie Murphy and trying to make him laugh to where they get so ridiculous and over the top. You think, are they living in the land of retards?
Well,
because I mean, just watching them so absurd, and it's painful. It's painful.
Well, the reason why is because this is really seriously a one joke movie. There's nothing outside of the premise of him not being able to speak, and we've seen one joke movies work before. I mean, we mentioned Jim Carrey's Liar Liar, but every reaction that people have to Eddie Murphy's silence is so extreme.
It is.
I mean, it's not only an extreme reaction, but it's an extreme joke that doesn't work. For example, when he goes to his job, the person who valet parks his car, when Eddie, he says, "Hey, Mr. whatever your character's name in this movie, did you read my script or book? My book or whatever."
My manuscript.
And Eddie Murphy can't speak. And instead of the guy being like, okay, you sound like you're sick or something, I won't bother you. He's like, "Oh, you didn't read it? Well, what kind of asshole are you? Oh, I'll park your car, right?" When he can't talk to his wife, played by Kerry Washington. She's like, You say what I want you to say. Talk to me. What's wrong? Oh, well, you know what? I think we need to take a break. It's like, wow.
And
that probably bothered me the most in this whole thing because the premise is so flimsy that with her character, all they know how to do is to where, oh, he can't talk. Well, she's going to act so over the top and inappropriate that it's like, okay, there's nothing left for her to do but just be a complete fucking bitch the whole time.
And the thing is, every character is acting just like her. I mean, to his lackey buddy, to his boss, just to anybody who interacts with this guy. And it's a joke that keeps going and going and going, and there's no end to it. I mean, because I was like, wow, is there going to be any kind of break from this shtick that didn't even work to begin with?
Oh, but there is a break, and that's even worse. When they try to be serious and show, but he's a nice guy at heart. When they show his mom who has Alzheimer's, and that's his place where he goes and he tries to be the good, dutiful son, despite the frustration of the fact that she thinks he's her dead husband,
right,
who he himself hated.
Which is just creepy. She almost wants to fuck her son.
That's pretty creepy.
That's all I could think about.
The movie that is played for nothing but just madcap wackiness that's not funny, and then suddenly goes, for like 10 minutes while he goes and talks to his mom with Alzheimer's, which, by the way, does not belong in any comedy anywhere.
Ain't nothing funny about that.
Wow!
Shit.
And as it goes along, it goes later on, like I said in that last third, where it wants to be a message film or whatever, turns into Eddie Murphy's Tree of Life all of a sudden.
Right.
Well, yeah, when it tries to get sentimental near the end, even that doesn't work.
Embarrassing and stilted.
Yeah, everything feels forced in this movie, and there's no progression of this character. There's no true, genuine feelings in this movie. It's just a film where somebody said at that time, Eddie Murphy's hot, let's make another vehicle for him, and Eddie Murphy made another fucking wrong decision.
And let's give the guy some fucking speed while we're at it. Yeah, I mean,
who was his mother in the movie?
Ruby Dee.
Ruby Dee. That was the saddest thing to me. Ruby Dee. Classic actress. I mean, if anybody knows,
I thought she was good in the part. It's just like she was in a different movie.
She's it, but I'm talking about classic black Hollywood. When we look, she was synonymous with Ossie Davis.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
they were married forever.
Two actors and an actor and an actress who, for their time, fought to be featured in a predominantly white dominated Hollywood when people didn't want to give them a chance, and that struggle was for what? To nearly end your life being a fucking Eddie Murphy's 1,000 words.
You're teaching me something because she's so goddamn classic. I don't even know who the fuck she was.
Ossie Davis died. I guess she just said, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different time period, whatever. But
they just said Eddie Murphy. You're going to be in a movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Everybody who's in this, what they knew, their agent said, like, I got you the new Eddie Murphy film. And they went like, well, shit, he's big. I mean, even though he's not anymore, but still, he's a name.
At least you
People
know
don't see
you're
that.
getting in a theatrical release film
Exactly.
at that point. So.
Yeah, or at least you thought.
Yeah,
or you know, it's a Chinese proverb now. Be careful what you wish for because you might get
It's
it.
like somebody was carrying that film to the dumpster, and then they accidentally tripped, and that film canister rolled its way into a movie theater. And somebody's like, "Hey, Eddie Murphy, what the hell? What's this doing here?"
Just fucking useless. Just useless. This movie. Just
This,
say.
I'd rather see Best Defense 2 at this point than the shit he has been churning out. And this is no exception. It's just more of the same. It's not worse than a lot of his recent stuff. It's just more of the same. It's the same bullshit from a guy who hasn't learned a fucking thing. Even by 2008, when this was made, he should have known better already.
Eddie
You
Murphy,
know?
Eddie Murphy has a cadence. That's what's wrong with Eddie Murphy right now. He has a cadence that I still, God forbid y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but I know there's a talented thing inside Eddie Murphy somewhere.
Seriously, what is it going to take with you?
What is it going to take with you? I can take, because I'm telling you that at some
What's it
point,
going to take with me?
You what?
For him to actually do something good.
it would, I wish I could be a ghostly spirit that could visit Eddie Murphy in the middle of the night and tell him
Eddie
that
Murphy's a Christmas character.
Yes, I wish I could
He
just
is
visit
Jacob
him.
Marley or was Bob Marley.
I have Eddie Murphy. I have this independent script for $1 million that you can make. You must do this to redeem yourself. But he doesn't want to do that. Eddie Murphy wants to be the Eddie Murphy that has his cadence. I'm just gonna be Eddie Murphy like this. I'm just Eddie Murphy like that. Everybody gonna laugh. I just make a face and talk like this. And it's just it's after so many years, people criticizing you for that. Just stop.
Yeah,
already.
because that's all he's doing now. He's being the loud, black, obnoxious guy you don't want to be around. And after watching this, I really it was kind of sad because we walked in there was nobody.
No, this movie,
nobody in that goddamn theater.
This movie made if it at least made $40 tonight, it was because of us.
I know, and I'm just like, wow. I was like,
Don't forget the tumbleweed that was in there too.
But you know, all I
sneaked in.
thought tonight is like, you know, there's going to be probably some day where I might have to convince some kid that Eddie Murphy was actually funny at one point.
Good
he
luck
was a
with
comic.
that.
He was a comic genius.
I'm
at
actually
some point.
expecting to wake up tomorrow to the doorbell ringing and there being news crews outside going, "So you were one of the 4 people who came to say 1,000 hours. Why?
You dumbass.
1,000 words. You keep
Sorry.
saying 1,000 hours.
Because it felt like 1,000 hours.
How much was it to get in there? $8?
$10.
$10. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
the movie made at least $40 on the tumbleweed that Leon's talking about. It sneaked in. that coyote that was in the background when we watched the movie, like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, don't
Came
forget.
down to the front to ask us, y'all paid for this shit?
Yeah, don't forget
Coyote,
it.
we did.
Don't forget about the cricket that was hanging on the background when every time a joke came up, we heard him talking.
Yeah. Man, listen, I don't know what to tell you people. It's really, we can't say any more than what we did. It's just to warn you. Yes, I like to be fair. I hardly ever ride the wave of hate for a film, or I don't like to get on a bandwagon when somebody says something is this great or something is this bad. I would come out and say it at the risk of my own embarrassment. So when I'm telling you that this movie is a waste of your fucking time, it is. Do not see this for any means at the theater. If you see it on TV, fine, because you can walk away at any point. But this is a movie that shows that whatever's wrong with Eddie Murphy, it's in this movie right here. That's the only reason to see it, to see like one capsule of everything that's going wrong with his career. And God damn it, we saw this at midnight. There comes a time, and it doesn't happen that often. This movie deserves I wish I had an award to give it. It deserves the Corey I'm wasting my life award, because there's one movie that I will see where I will sit there. I can't make it funny. I don't know why I'm there. I question my life, and I say, "Wow, what am I doing?" And at that moment, you in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "I really could be doing something else. I'm gonna be up all night tonight because I want to go see Eddie Murphy's fucking shitty movie." You know, fuck you, Eddie Murphy, fuck you. And I'm not even saying fuck him. It's whoever put this movie out, because the movie, they could have just released it quietly on DVD. But no, they decided to make us stay up at fucking midnight and won't see it at the theater and waste our fucking time. Fuck that person. I'm getting this movie a fuck you for that person. That one executive who made that decision to say, yes, Fuck with the public out there. Release it. Let them see it.
Preach it, brother.
Yeah, I mean, no, really, fuck you to that person. That's the only reason. Not even Eddie Murphy. Fuck this movie and fuck that guy, whoever he is, wherever he may be.
I think it was Eddie Murphy's mom who released it.
Why you?
Well, I'm not gonna let Eddie Murphy off the hook like it's so easy as that. I know you still had soft spots for him, but the fact is, as I watched this movie and I watched all these character actors struggle to just do the best they can, I'm looking at him rolling around on the fucking ground, making faces, mugging, and co-host says like he's doing the same thing, just being an obnoxious loud black guy. But it's this obnoxious loud black guy who does the same shtick that he's been doing for the last 40 years. If he was doing something new with it, okay, I'd go with it. But it's not. It's just, like you said, it's those same voices. If I'm gonna say, fuck this movie, fuck Eddie Murphy. But more importantly, fuck Nicolas Cage, who was a producer on this movie.
Oh, that's right.
Ghost Rider?
Movie.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't enough.
Ghost Rider?
It wasn't enough to stick us with Ghost Rider 2. He came back for a double tap with this movie.
Such an insane idea. Like, who saw this and said, yeah, that makes sense. We should make a movie out of that.
Ghost Rider did.
Exactly. Nicolas Cage is like, yeah, sure, makes sense to me.
Exactly.
Nicolas Cage is getting vengeance on his audience or something.
He's the one. Y'all didn't see Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Fuck you guys.
And you know what? And honestly, like the thing that I didn't stress enough that I hate about it is that the movie it's pure shenanigans because it's trying to have it both ways. It's trying to be a raunchy comedy, but a family-friendly film too. It's like, oh, it's all about the kids and you take care of your kid, you be a good father, be a good guy, but. You say fuck you ever so often.
Well, he never said fuck
No,
you.
he throws the finger.
No, does he?
Yes, he does.
Well, they can do that in
they
they can even do that in PG movies right now. But there is two things that make the movie mysteriously cross over into an area where it could have been a Nickelodeon film almost. He says shit numerous times.
Yeah.
Either shit or bullshit. And there's a scene where Kerry Washington, as fine as she is, but there's a scene where she's in lingerie trying to convince him that they need to make their marriage more exciting. And if they had just the movie doesn't even have focus. If they had cut those two things, shit and lingerie, they could have had a family film. If not, take it a little further.
Not that it would have been any better for
No,
that.
it would not. What am I talking about?
It doesn't even make any sense. Like, man, I love Kerry Washington. I love Kerry Washington. The idea you tell me like, hey, she's going to be dressed in SM gear in this movie. I'm like, all right, well, maybe. But they write her in such a way that makes her completely unattractive. And that whole thing of like, we got to save our marriage. I was like, when did that come into the plot?
Yeah.
That
was
whole scene
what was
doesn't
wrong?
even make sense. We're like, wait, why are they in a hotel room? And why is this happening? We're in the middle of the workday.
Where am I? Who
Their
am
marriage
I?
all depends on her wanting to buy a house that's safe for the baby. That's the hinge of their marriage right there. It's like, really? Where did that come
Pretty
from?
squeaky hinge.
Yeah.
Need some WD-40 stat.
What rating are we on anyway? Who?
I'm sorry. I guess I was giving like an epilogue to mine, but since I jumped out with it right away, I usually like to save it. I should have some suspense. Like, will he go some old bullshit or fuck this movie? But no, it's straight up fuck this movie.
Leon's always the one who's got the, well, in case I hadn't made my points clear before, let me reiterate.
He actually, he fights with it. It's almost like he has schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Well, on the one hand, they have this, but the bad evil Leon wants to give it this.
Don't turn your rating into that goddamn Eddie Murphy movie I just saw.
No. I'm very clear on this.
I don't know how much there's to say about this that we haven't already said. I mean, I considered giving this some old bullshit instead of a fuck you because, it was made in 2008. Like I said, a little bit of slack because it was like, all right, some of the stuff that really bugged me after I found that out, I was like, okay, well, sure enough, it is dated in that sense. But you know what? You take that stuff out, and it's still an absolute piece of shit. There's no reason in 2008 this movie should have been made. It would have been a fuck you in 2008. It's doubly a fuck you now. Do we have anything like this lower? It's like ram my critical fist up Eddie Murphy's ass with my middle finger up? I don't know. Something, because this movie feels like fuck you isn't strong enough. If he makes another one like this, seriously, we need to come up with a rating lower than fuck you.
If we just call it Eddie Murphy. I'll give us an Eddie Murphy. Cole, join the club.
Well, you guys just about fucked every hole that this movie had. So I guess I'll just take a big, huge dump on the chest of it. So, I'll take a huge dump on the film, on Eddie Murphy, on the scriptwriter, on the so-called director, all of it. So, yeah, go.
You give it a rental?
Yeah, I give it a matinee. No,
Yeah, man.
I just took a dump on Eddie Murphy.
I will
that's
say
all.
the only time the movie was good to me is this isn't even a Training Day bias. Is when Cliff Curtis was in it, and
For real?
I
I really hated that whole accent thing he was doing. In
Really?
There. Yeah.
Okay.
He looked embarrassed to be there.
Yeah, I feel bad
he
for him.
did.
Yeah. I will say this: Eddie Murphy has an infant son in the movie. I can't wait for years later when they treat this movie like an adoption, where they tell him, "Son, we always want to tell you, you were in 1,000 words." No, I hate you.
I want to run up to him and take a dump on him.
I wanted to call Child Protective Services to get him out of there.